Hello, this is John with Siemens Electro-Matic Tech Support in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And today I'm going to show you how to create a new project in step 755 and download to a 7300 PLC using Ethernet. I've got a checklist on the right here. We're going to follow this checklist. First step is in the Windows network connections, I'm going to give my laptop a static IP. So I'm using this local area connection. It's important to remember the name for this. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Windows snipping of this. So I can just keep it here because I'll need that later. All right, so properties, Internet Protocol version 4. Use the following IP address. I need to be in the same subnet as my PLC will be. So I'll just give myself the IP address of 192.168.0.100. The PLC will be 192.168.0.1. Just click on subnet mask. It'll automatically fill in a default subnet mask that gives you access to the last octet here. So we'll just use that. Click OK, OK, close out of this. So the next step is inside of Windows, I need to set PG-PC interface to the interface with the same name as the Windows network connection. So I just set PG-PC, maybe it's setting, there it is. So this is the Siemens set PG-PC interface. So this says Intel Ethernet connection I1217 ... And right here I have Intel Ethernet connection I217-LM. We want TCP/IP.1. You could also use TCP/IP.auto, but for this video we're going to use .1. .1 should work for you. So I'll click OK. Now I know that I'm using this PG-PC interface because in Simatic Manager, in the lower right, I see that this PG-PC interface connection name matches my PG-PC or my Windows interface that I'm using for Ethernet on my computer. So I can close this now. I don't need it. Okay, so next in Simatic Manager, we're going to create the project and, well, first we're going to edit Ethernet node. So let's do that. I'm going to browse the network. So this is my PLC. It already has an IP address and a Profinet name, but I'm just going to delete that. If you had a PLC that had been used before, you would normally factory reset it before doing your project. And if it's a brand new PLC, everything after the factory reset would be applicable anyway. So we're going to go ahead and factory reset this. You select this in the list, click OK. Now this PLC is selected. We just go down to factory reset. Yes, we really want to. Resetting to factory was started. It should say complete. It's factory reset now, and we can verify that by browsing again. The PLC will come up. It will not have an IP address, and it will not have a Profinet name. Okay. All right, so now the next step, we're going to create a new PLC station. So we need to create a project. So click on the new project icon or file new project. Select your directory here. Type in the name. This is my new project. Here we have the project tree on the left and the main view on the right. I'm going to select the project name, right-click in the project tree, insert new object, and then select my PLC in the hardware config. I have a 317F2PNDP, so I'm going to select that in just a moment. Right-click on the field. Let's talk about these views. This is the main view. This is the description for whatever is selected in the main view, and this is the hardware catalog. You can, if the catalog doesn't show up or things don't look the same, you can click on View and kind of get these panels back. All right, so right-click on the main view, Insert Object. We want a Somatic 300 station, Rack 300 rail. Just click OK. On slot 2, you're going to insert object, your 300 series PLC. As I said, mine was a 317F2PNDP. And this is the part number. There's my firmware. Okay, so I create a new Profinet network. The PLC will have this IP address. This is the Profinet name for my PLC, so I'm going to change it to PLC1. Profinet names need to be letters and numbers. I think the hyphen is the only other special character. I'm not exactly sure of that. I try to keep it to letters and numbers. Okay. So this is my Profinet name. It's been changed. I'm just going to add a Profibus network. So this is the Profibus network and the baud rate. This will be my PLC's address on the Profibus network. But we're not really going to use Profibus in this video. So, okay, so I've set the PLC's IP address. I've set the PLC's name. Now I'm going to turn on the clock byte. This is nice to do in a new project. It basically just gives you some sort of feedback later on that you're actually connected to the PLC. So now at memory byte 0, MB0, I'll have just a clock pulse that counts up. I think the cycle time on that is, the fastest one is 5 hertz, but we can look it up in the online help. So let's see, clock memory. Okay, so it's 10 hertz for the fastest one. Okay, so the clock byte is on. Yep, so we're going to save and compile. Okay, so next we're going to download this hardware configuration to the PLC. So I will click this download icon, and this is the one that I want to download, so okay. The select node address window will take a little bit to populate. Once it's populated, will give us a table of our different hardware here, which is like the offline configuration of the available hardware. And then below it will give us the option to view what's out there in the world, the online hardware that's available. Okay, so here's my table that's in my project, and below is my accessible nodes that are available. I'm going to click View. So here is my PLC. This MAC address matches the physical PLC on my desk, so I'm going to click OK. Okay, it had some connection issue there. I'm not sure what happened, but it's okay now. So it's telling me that it's going to stop the PLC to load the hardware configuration. Okay, now it's telling me it's going to start it, and my PLC is good. So I'm going to go to my Windows command prompt, and I'm going to ping the PLC. Now I gave it an IP address of 192.168.0.1. So I'm pinging it. Everything looks good here. All right, so now I'm going to make sure that this is all saved, and I'm going to close my hardware configuration manager. And now I'm going to go into Schematic Manager and create a VAT and add the clock byte so that I can go online to make sure that I see the clock byte counting up and down. And I'll be able to do things like stop the PLC and see that the clock stops in the VAT. So I'm going to insert new object, variable table. I'm going to open that, add my address, which is MB0. I'm going to go online, and I can see the clock bytes counting. I'm going to reach over here and actually stop it. It stops. I'll clear it. I think that'll clear it. It didn't clear it. But it's working. So I have a connection to my PLC, and I can now download freely. In the next video, we will show you how to download your program to the PLC. So thanks for watching.